What's good, neighborhood? We're back for another installment of Legend of Dragoon. It's the retro remix. You know who I am, you know what we're here for. I do apologize for missing Warframe Wednesday yesterday, but I mean, let's face it, life hit kinda hard. A little harder than usual, but it hit kinda hard. But, bump in the road. We're gonna make up for it. We're gonna get back to working hard. We're gonna get back to gaming hard. And hopefully, y'all will stick with me for the ride. With that being said, do keep an eye out though, because not next week, but the week after. So 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now is going to be the big launch for Avengers, and I know I'm going to be going hard on the game. I know Oliver and Jake are going to be in it with me. Well, if you want, well, not if you want, but yeah, if you want, pick up the game for yourself. If nothing else, try out the open beta for folks coming up this weekend. There may be some issues because a lot of people are going to be logging on, but I think, once you can get in and actually play the game itself, I think you guys will have as much fun with it as I did, especially if you go in doing co-op. Alright, that's right. I just finished up here. So we gotta make our way out. There's still gonna be some enemies to deal with. Hey, what's good, Blue? Appreciate the resub, man. Okay, actually, Blue, now that you're here, I got a question for you. Are you actually thinking about jumping in on Avengers when it comes out? Or are you at the very least gonna try out the demo if you haven't done so already? There we go. And there's the fight. Okay, so I think we only leveled up like twice and we're doing stupid damage here already. Right. Now as far as that goes, and I'm gonna keep looking up information on this, but as far as that goes, I think they're only doing the whole always online thing for the beta, just to make sure that they can, just to make sure that they can gather info. But I did hear that I did hear that you can actually, play through the game, especially like the story modes and stuff. You can play through that not only with AI allies, but you can play through it offline. So I mean, I can definitely understand where you're coming from on that, and it'll be something to keep an eye out for. And if it stays, if it actually is fully always online, then believe me, like if it turns out to be always online, even for the single player stuff, then trust me, you'll be hearing about it from us, and I for one would definitely, hell, I'd actually recommend people not pick it up until that gets solved, if it's even possible.
Whip smack. Yes. Go. Volcano.
Oh, excuse me. Hey, what's up, Snag? How you doing? Uh, as far as things on my end, it's business as usual. And Soul Chain, appreciate the follow. But yeah, it's business as usual. You know, just trying to pay the rent. Actually, here's the thing. I'm signed in on the PS4 right now, but it's actually the missus that's playing The Sims. Of course, the moment I decide I'm actually going to sit down and start, trying my hand at it, uh, I know that's gonna be an adventure.
Whip smack. Yes.
No counter for you.
Go. Volcano.
Wait, hold on. You seriously got locked out of Twitter? Man, I legit don't even know what's going on with that anymore. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't say something similar happened to me, but just a little bit earlier before I went live, I was trying to post something on Twitter, or at the very least, get Twitter set up so that way I can make my going live post. And I had gotten logged out. Like, I tried to pull up the page and it kept giving me an error, and every time I tried to refresh, it gave me that same error, so I was forced to have to log out, then log back in. And when I did, like, my display settings were all wrong. It was ridiculous. So, I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but as usual, they need to fix their shit. Seriously, it seems like if it's not one thing going on with that platform, it's another. But the worst part about it is that, you know, even though it sucks for dialogue, it's still like the only thing most of us have as far as just communication. Or at least it's the most efficient. Morning, Riona. Good to see you in. Two. That's 3 and 4. So yeah, I mean that's the basics as far as this morning. Trying to pay rent, Twitter shit, and I'm hyped for Avengers. It's business as usual. Missed that, but hey, still works. Yes, 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 yes. Like Avengers is pretty much like one step removed from the ideas we were coming up with for that X-Men Muso. No question about it. Yeah, I am. This 2 week wait is going to suck. Really? Yeah, I was actually going to ask, like, how, aside from just how much you're enjoying them, like, how else does it actually compare to Anthem for you?
Whip smack. Yep. Go. Volcano.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've said it here or on the podcast, but Avengers for me actually. Okay. Big open areas, looting gear, the different suits that basically play like their own separate characters. And I'm trying to remember, Anthem is okay. And Anthem is a third-person game as well, right? Damn it, missed that.
Yep. Go. Volcano.
Like I'll be honest with you. I've actually been wanting to, if nothing else, try out Anthem. Let's drop a burnout on him. So yeah, there's not much customization. That's too bad. Oh, but I also saw the.
Whip smack.
Hold on, but aren't they still doing the whole like Anthem overhaul? Are they? Aren't they still getting ready to do that whole 2.0 overhaul? Because that was the last I heard about it.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Yeah, if it's a. Oh, that's right. I have to drop down into the cave. I have to drop down into the cave and head forward. Ha! You know, I can see that. Alright, but this actually brings to mind. This actually brings to mind one other thing I wanted to. One other thing I wanted to bring up. For everybody that's watching right now, how do you guys feel about. Like, how would you guys feel about me, alternating which games I play in the morning every week? So let's say, this week I finish off, well, not finish off, but, I play through the rest of this week on Legend of Dragoon, and then, let's say, Monday I pick up something else like, say, Jade Cocoon, or maybe jump back to something on the Super NES. You know, add a little, add a little bit of extra variety, but still make sure that I come back to stuff like this so I can actually finish it and beat it on stream for you guys. Okay, it's good to know. Good to know. Then, yeah, I think once I'm done today, like once I'm done for the day, I'll get to work putting something together as far as a tentative schedule of what else I'll play on stream, and the more the more we can put in co-op, the better.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Yes, still got it. But yeah, I mean, days where we can co-op on stuff like, stuff like Fantasy Star. I'll, I'll try and see if we can do like the Steam share play, so that way we actually can co-op Fight and Rage, since that doesn't have, native online co-op. But yeah, stuff like that, or even hell, let's not forget tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I'm gonna be back on Steam. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna do the morning stream first. I'm gonna do that, and then tomorrow evening, it's going to be the fight night on Guilty Gear. So for those of you that actually have it on Steam that want to jump in and play, hit me up when it gets closer to time, and I'll make sure to set up the lobby so that way you guys can get in. And who knows? I mean, that would be an absolute blast. I'm sure of it. No worries. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I hate, like, if there's one thing I really don't like about playing Guilty Gear, it's the fact that it's not crossplay between at least PS4 and PC. Like, I'd say that's the one thing that Street Fighter V has going for it compared to the others. Well, it's a good thing I went to that spring and healed first. Yeah, and like over here in the States, doesn't PSO2 have crossplay at least between Steam and Xbox One?
Yep. Go. Volcano.
Yes. Let's see. Lavitz is at Dragoon level 2. That's awesome. Yeah, but I mean, it's. Honestly, I would love to see. I would love to see more games have crossplay between platforms. Alright. Okay, let's get back to. Okay, no, this isn't where I need to be. Ah, here we go. Yeah, yeah. I actually saw some headlines that new Battletoads came out, and you did pick it up, right, Ryan? Mm, that's fair. This Doctor Stray said, "Can you dim the lights? Your shit's too bright." Oh, really? Yeah. You know, to be honest, I hope the game's good. I really hope that the game is good. But what I can't seem to well, not seem, what I can't get behind about the new Battletoads is just that it's like they stripped the, it's like a lot of the personality was stripped out of it, you know? I mean, when Battletoads came out back in the 90s, it was it was largely crude, in your face. It was a direct aggressive competitor to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like TMNT and Battletoads, they were button heads. Like they Battletoads was to TMNT as Crash Bandicoot was to Mario. And y'all remember the Crash Bandicoot commercials where he'd show up outside of Nintendo HQ talking mad shit. That's what Battletoads was. Now, especially after seeing the trailers, it just seems more like it seems more like it's just gotten really self-aware for the sake of being self-aware. It's feeling, Battletoads is feeling more to me like Borderlands. And I mean Borderlands at its absolute worst. Okay, give me just a quick second. My controller seems to have had a bit of an issue, so I'm going to save that. And I'm going to have to restart the emulator, but give me a moment. Hooray for technical difficulties. And then we do that. There we go. Yeah, it is definitely going to be a period of adjustment for. Well, I don't know if it's just going to be a period of adjustment or if a lot of GameStop staff are just going to be sitting there like, God damn it, we actually have to say yes when people ask if we have the new Battletoads. Damn it! Huh, that's a good question. Well, how about this? I'll look it up later after the stream. And of course, in classic JRPG fashion, there's a tournament. Alright, let's cross this bridge. Head downstairs. I think I. Like, the only part of the city I haven't really explored yet is over this way, which is likely where the tournament's gonna be. Okie dokie. That was an interesting little incident. The all-seeing eye. So I guess this is where I'm going to sign up. Anyway, how's everything been going on your end, GQ? Yep. You and me both. Right? I was just thinking that. Like I went back and saw the little the reveal trailer for Hawkeye. I I really want to see how they. Well, yeah, that too. Okay, so I hope he has something close to the classic costume. I also hope that he has. Oh my God, you remember the? Okay, on MVCI, the alternate costume, the alternate DLC costume that Hawkeye has. I hope he's got the Ronin outfit too. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Andre? All right, let's pop in here and see what this tournament's all about. Ooh. Yeah. If what we saw in those leaks with Cap and Thor is any indication, then between that and the marketplace stuff that I saw during the beta as well, there's there's going to be a lot of well, hell, just considering the history of the Avengers and of those comics in general, there's a lot of cosmetic real estate that they could cover. There we go. And another interest, and just talking about yeah, just talking about this in particular, talking about Legend of Dragoon. This is really, another thing that I really like that this game does. You know, normally you're playing a JRPG. Over the course of the adventure, you wind up running into other characters that eventually join your team, and you build, you build bonds with them that way, as though you start off as strangers. But with this, you've got Hashel, a legendary martial artist, and then you've got your lead pro tag, who hasn't necessarily started off as the young brash nobody. He's already a seasoned mercenary, a seasoned swordsman. He's competent. You've got Dart, you've got Hashel, and these two meet up, and they're chopping it up like, they're chopping it up like any of us would be once we're able to actually meet in person. And it's really nice to see. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, as far as Avengers goes, like, I enjoyed what I played of the story campaign. I enjoyed playing through the war zones in co-op. It I had a lot of fun with it. I'm probably going to play some more of the beta when it hits again this weekend, though I might not stream it. But yeah, I hope I hope they take that foundation that they've got and really build something solid on it. And I think the team at Crystal Dynamics, I think they can do it. All right, tournament time. Here we go.
Eat this.
I can't take that voice seriously. He's saying, "Eat this, boy." If you don't get, you know, I think you might be onto something with that, Hikari. Like, if Marvel just says, "Okay, here's the source material, here's the license, go do your thing," and if they stay relatively hands off, I think I think I think they'll do okay. And yeah, that is exactly that was my exact gripe with it as well. Nolan North is good, but he's it's not just that he's spent too much time or that he's been cast too often or so often as Deadpool. But even how he delivers some of his lines mid combat, it sounds more Deadpool than Tony Stark. I mean, hell, they could have went back and got Crispin Freeman. He did Tony's voice in, I think it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Yeah, it was Ultimate Alliance 2. But yeah, Crispin Freeman could be really good for he could be really good for Tony Stark. They could have brought back Eric Loomis, who did Iron Man's voice in like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. 3 and Infinite, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there's at least two VOs that they could have cast that would have actually been, I guess, a little bit more character accurate. But I'm gonna reserve final judgment on that until I have the complete game in my hands and play through the story campaign and see if see if Nolan North actually grows on me more as Iron Man, or if he just stays like off for the rest of it.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
I mean, hell, I wouldn't mind seeing this guy get more work, but Greg Chun would actually be a really good Tony Stark.
Yes. Go.
There's 4.
Volcano. Eat this.
Yeah, comparing how Tony was written in the movies and how, well, not just in the movies but in the comics, and how closely that actually paralleled what RDJ was going through at the time, he was cast for Iron Man. Yeah, that actually made him perfect for the role, and I think a lot of people noticed it. I mean, I know I noticed it.
Yes. Go.
The whole joke of, is the whole joke of whether or not they just cast RDJ to play himself. I mean, there's some truth behind it. There's some weight to it. Well, I'd say Iron Man. Iron Man is probably the biggest career comeback I have ever seen for an actor, and that's saying a lot. Okay, Health's already back. James Marsden, James Marsden is the Cyclops for me. Like, if we're going all the way back to the X-Men movies, oh, Hugh Jackman wasn't necessarily perfect for Wolverine, one would think, but he really grew into the role, made it his own, and he pretty much he made it. James Marsden was a perfect Cyclops. Of course, Patrick Stewart was like you. I honestly don't think you could have anyone as Xavier other than Patrick Stewart. But goddamn, James McAvoy did a really good job in First Class and that line of X-Men movies. And yeah, I could have swore like Wolverine's only like 5'1", 5'2", if that. And actually, yeah, I'd say both. You know, both Magnetos, Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender, were spot on. I think what it is that not only like Sir Ian McKellen is a pretty solid actor, but what's more is that when you have Xavier and Magneto, these are two guys who are relatively around the same age group. You know, I mean you know, they're they're contemporaries. Like they're they're the same generation. I mean, that'd be like say if if Professor Xavier was say me, then Magneto would have to be someone like Oliver or someone like someone like Oliver or someone like Thomas Duder or maybe even you, GQ. Someone who was born within like 2 or 3 years of me, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's what's up, Tigron. Yeah, just which professor, McAvoy or Stewart? That was just great. But let's see. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer was Kelsey Grammer was just what they needed as Beast, though. Like the fact of the matter is that when you've got someone like Beast, sure you've got he's the big guy. He's the acrobat. He's agile. He's a beast. But you put him in the suit and tie, when he's not on the strike team, he is a college. He might as well be a college professor. And who better to play that college professor than, the guy we all know is freaking Fraser Crane? Yes, I remember the Shadow movie. That one was one of my personal favorites growing up. Like, I would pretty much sit down and I would watch The Shadow and then immediately jump over and watch The Rocketeer. Like that that was my 1-2 punch when it came to not comic book superhero movies, or at least, comic book superhero movies that weren't so mainstream. But yeah, absolutely like I totally dig The Shadow, which made it even that much cooler when I started watching Darkwing Duck because I am like the moment that came up on the Disney afternoon, I was immediately drawing parallels between Darkwing Duck and The Shadow. I'm glad that I actually got that one right though.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
And real talk, The Shadow was what turned me on to Alec Baldwin as an actor. Like Alec Baldwin was dope in The Shadow. Yeah, The Shadow was based on a radio series, which was based on the radio series was based on the comics that had come out around the same time, 40s, 50s, and then the movie pretty much took the source material from the comics and the radio series. At least I think that's how that went.
Yes. Go. Volcano.
Okay, at least this guy doesn't sound like the first dude I was going up against. Yeah, that's that's another really good one. Like, I'll put it to you this way: when I saw that the Green Hornet was getting a movie, and I didn't see anyone like I saw the Green Hornet was getting a movie, and I'm like, okay, this might be all right, but I wasn't too sure about Seth Rogen. But then I actually saw the movie itself, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, nah. Seth Rogen was pretty good as the Green Hornet. And yeah, pulp serials and radio dramas,
Go.
like those are like peanut butter and jelly. You can't really have one without the other.
Yeah. Go. Volcano.
Huh. Like Tom Holland as Iceman. I can see it. I think I can see that. Tom Holland, or because I don't know if he's still tied to, like, yeah, you would have to imagine him never being Spider-Man. But you want to know another superhero actor who I think who would actually make a really solid Iceman? Grant Gustin. I mean, sure, you of course you'd have to imagine him, like you'd probably have to imagine him never being the Flash. But Grant Gustin could do it. Alrighty. Um, so we're gonna have to go ahead and actually we're gonna have to actually go ahead and drop the stream for now. We're coming up on the 1 hour mark, but also there's some stuff that I got to be making sure I get done around noon. So that being said, I'll drop an invite to the Discord server in the Twitch chat where we can continue our little superhero casting chat. Yeah, let me put that right there for you. But yeah, Discord invite link is in the Twitch chat if you guys want to pop on over if you haven't done so already. We can keep the chat going there, but until then, I'm going to have to go ahead and bring this to a close. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for this last hour or so. Tigron, if you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Keep up with us. We'd be more than glad to have you. And on that note, I'll be back at. Oh, there we go. That's the good stuff. So, I'll be back at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And as for what we're going to be playing, well, what do you know? Schedule says I'm going to be jumping back on Phantasy Star Online 2. So, we've got that. We've got more of that coming up at 2 o'clock. Hope to see you guys then. But until then, if you want to help out the channel, there's the donation links. There's the affiliate links underneath the Twitch player. Especially since, between this and the GoFundMe, I'm trying to fundraise to make sure I can get the rent taken care of for next month. Any help you guys can provide would be more than appreciated. Barring time zones. That's fair. But yeah, then again, that's why there's the Discord. But until next time, stay good, neighborhood. You have yourselves a good afternoon.